Ah. No, I had like one or two small stumbles, but it's not the end of the world. Boy, oh boy.
Boop. Hello.
That they finally, because you brought this up, right? Like they've had World of Warcraft, they've had StarCraft. Like this is not Blizzard's first seat at the table, and you'd think that they'd be used to this by now. But
Yeah, wasn't there like a whole live action WoW porn series?
yeah. But again, the problem here is that people using doing source filmmaker animations actually got the character models from the game.
Right. I guess
And then it's that Blizzard can be like,
right.
that we can stop you from doing.
Yeah, I guess that actually works in their favor. Like they can't stop fan art, they can't stop whatever.
Yeah.
But they can say just you can't use the models. So
Yeah, you can't use like the literal things we made.
I'm assuming that there's going to be like, as with a lot of these situations, the open source community, I'm sure, will step in and provide, their own models of the different.
Was
people.
today's Jimquisition serious about Overwatch porn? Of course it is.
It's always ahead of us.
Of course it is. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I feel like there's porn for basically any. I mean, that's the thing, right? The Rule 34.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't quite know why Overwatch porn is like. I guess it's just the thing right now. But.
There are two subreddits for Overwatch porn.
I mean, I guess they should be happy that they did a lot of cool character designs that people want.
Good for them.
Also, saying that not a lot of Battleborn porn around.
No.
So, in that, in the idea of that if people aren't talking about you, it's bad, right? Even if they're not saying necessarily the things that you want.
I guess. I feel bad for Gearbox because people are continually being like Overwatch and Battleborn. It's like they're totally different games. Like Battleborn is sweet. It's just it's a first-person MOBA, that sounds great. I'm not into MOBAs, right? So it's not really my jam. But they're not actually competitors. I mean, they kind of are because they're video games and they're releasing around the same time. But they're not actually like. They fill different roles. They can very, very easily coexist.
Yeah.
Battleborn has too many characters. Overwatch has a lot of damn characters.
I can see how they do look similar just because they're both first-person games.
Yeah.
That came out at similar times.
Mm-hmm.
But I'm sure as time goes on, they will sort of their fan bases will kind of deviate from each other. Like, I think there's probably a lot
Indigo Vitare saying it was poorly marketed and released at a bad time. It's tough to release it at a bad time when you announce your release date and then Blizzard announces theirs. Yeah. I'm just saying, Battleborn announced their release date, and several days later, Blizzard announced the open beta was going to start on the release date of Battleborn.
Kind of a dick move, maybe, on Blizzard's part, but, that's how it goes. All's fair in video game marketing stuff.
Yeah.
Also, apparently Battleborn hasn't been not pushing that narrative too. They've been kind of putting themselves.
I hadn't seen it, to be honest, but fair enough.
Anyway.
Right. Stories. Whoopsies. There we go.
Many stories were things that happened.
So from the beginning of when No Man's Sky was first announced, I've been like, oh man, that looks sweet. And I've been very much looking forward to seeing it and trying it because it looks cool. There's aspects of it that remind me of Escape Velocity. It looks really neat. I don't like saying that I'm a Dark Souls fan because the Dark Souls fan base has such a, pox upon it because of the shitty Dark Souls fans. No Man's Sky isn't even out yet, and I'm afraid to say that I'm looking forward to the game. Because, wow, holy crap. the vitriol from fans of this game is oof.
I'm surprised. Like, it's as awesome as it looks, and it does look quite cool. You know, I have certain things that I'm not quite sure how it will work in it, but as awesome as it looks, I gotta say that, like, when I first saw it, it did look like one of those games where it's because it's being, you know, it's largely kind of an auteur game, right? Mm-hmm. I don't know, I don't think it's made only by one guy, but
no,
it's obvious.
It's a very small team, though.
Yeah, but it's obviously his, you know, vision.
Yeah.
But it's the kind of game that you can imagine just being delayed forever. Like it's one of those games that seems overly ambitious and could easily be, but like, so I wasn't surprised that it was delayed. Frankly, I was surprised that it had such a definite date that it was coming out, that it wasn't like, you know, 5 years in development. But yeah, the not only sending death threats to the developer when they you know, if they delay the thing, it's like,
it's awful and you shouldn't do it.
I guess if you're the kind of person that sends death threats to people when they do things that are minorly annoy you,
yeah,
then okay. But sending death threats to the guy who reported it, it's like, I don't know whether that was like before it was officially announced that there was the delay. And so the death threat was like, you're trying to make No Man's Sky look bad.
Yeah, the person's theory was that by reporting that there would be a delay, they were forcing Sony and Hello Games, they were forcing their hand to. It doesn't make sense. It's not a thing that logically makes sense because this was a crazy person, and so you know. But yeah, they were trying to say that by reporting on it, the reporter had made it worse.
I see.
So. Also,
I do love though that the response from the No Man's Sky developer is,
he took it really well.
Yeah, he's like, I've been getting some death threats, but don't worry, I'm totally fine. I've set up my house like Home Alone.
Yeah.
And so just come on, bring it on. And then there's like a little while later, there was a tweet that was like, can I clean the ball bearings and oil off my stairs now? I kind of got to go to the bathroom.
Yeah. I need the toilet. Yeah. What is next? Oh yeah, so the Mighty Number 9 commercial. Like, it wasn't a great commercial anyway, with like, check out your dashes and these sick combos. Like, it was very, like we said, it was of the era of the 90s, but I guess it's like, okay, sure. But then, yeah, this like, you'll make your enemies cry like an anime fan on prom night. And it's like, what? Why? Why would you?
And it's like, of all the games to say, like, I could see that if you were like trying to do some sort of weird, like
Beck really looks like Astro Boy. The game is anime.
Yeah, like I could see if you were trying to make like a thing being like, this is a North American game, blah blah blah. So go away, anime fans. That would be stupid, but this is made like there is literally an anime of Mega Man.
Yeah.
In fact, they're making a cartoon of Mighty Number 9. I don't know if it's going to be an anime, but
I never said it was offensive, pedomorphia. Just that it was incredibly stupid.
I mean, it's not. I don't feel like there's enough thought in it to be offensive.
No. Yeah, exactly. Like, I don't feel like an anime fan is going to be like, how dare you? They're going to be like, really? What the fuck?
Yeah. It's just like, okay, sure. But especially since it's like a kickstarted game, so it's literally just, you know, it's all based around like fan and like community appeal.
Yeah. Yeah. That's a really good point.
So it's like, yeah, thanks for all that money, losers. I've actually heard somebody in the comments to that one. There was a couple people were like, yeah, this is really terrible, and you know, I'm starting to kind of feel bad that I was, you know, partially responsible for this. But on the plus side, because I am a Kickstarter or not me, but this guy was saying that I am a Kickstarter, so I, was able to play the betas, and it's actually a fun game.
Well, that's good. That's good, at least. I hope that it is a fun game. Like, I hope it's good. I don't want it to be bad, right? Like, it looked cool, and there was a lot of people who,
I mean, and obviously the people working on it know how to run. Oh yeah, I saw that.
pizza explosions. Wow.
Yeah, there's also, I saw a video that was like a side-by-side thing that was like, showed the not the original, but like, I think the E3 2015 demo.
Yeah.
And then like this new trailer, and that it looked better in 2015 than it does now, which it looks different now. They've changed a bunch of how the particle effects go.
Yeah.
I'm not entirely sure whether it looks better or worse now, but for instance, the explosions looked more explosion-y before. They kind of gone in a more stylized direction, which is a little odd.
Yeah. Oh well.
Anyway.
So the Windows 10 thing, people have been talking about this for a while.
Yeah.
How it's like, Windows 10 will pop up with, or Windows will pop up with a Windows 10 upgrade that's like, do you want to upgrade? And instead of yes or no, it's now or later. Both of them are yes. And you just have to close the window and ignore it. And there's, there's been like different
They've been slowly escalating up the difficulty in ignoring.
And the most recent one, the window now says, your computer will update at this time. And if you just close that window, it goes, okay, you've seen it.
Yeah.
I told you were going to update. It's still happening.
When previously the update window, if you closed it, would mean would mean that it won't do the update.
Yeah, now it just means you haven't told it not to. So
now you actually end up with this thing where, because especially since it upgrades like at night usually, which sort of makes sense. So you end up with this thing like you go, wake up in the morning with your coffee, turn on your computer, and you have Windows 10. And not necessarily everything works. Like, for instance, as I've talked about a few times on various tech things, Windows 10 has the same audio issues that Windows 8 does. So if you're, say, like a audio person and your USB microphone is really important to your job, if on Windows 10 that microphone that might not work the way it was before.
Okay, Arvila Track, you're being pedantic, but you are correct. But you're being pedantic. So, yes, previously closing the window just closed the window, and now closing the window closes the window. They haven't changed what the X does. But previously it was like, yo, you want to update? And if you closed it, you wouldn't update. Now it's saying you're updating. But the thing is,
unless you choose
they've
otherwise.
changed what the window says. So if it keeps popping up, when do you want to update? And you've just been closing it every time. And now it pops up, and the wording is different, but you're just like, oh, whatever, close it. Then it's going to update in the middle of the night, and you're going to wake up and have Windows 10, and some of your stuff's not going to work.
I like Gekyoru has the opposite problem. You won't allow him to upgrade to Windows 10. He keeps trying and failing. You should give your computer. Your computer could be in high market value at some point. A computer that cannot be upgraded to Windows 10. So maybe people will want to get it from you.
I did a new boot camp partition on my computer at home so I could play Overwatch, and I was like, screw it, I'll just get Windows 10, whatever. And it's fine. I don't really use it for very much, so I haven't really encountered a lot of stuff. One thing that I hate is that it has these little pop-ups at the bottom corner. And they're like, like tooltips or whatever. But one of them's like, would you recommend Windows 10 to your coworkers? I'm like, fuck off. I'm trying to do stuff. Like, it's like, hey, how's it going, man? Like, what? Go away, Windows. I'm just trying to work. Stop talking to me.
Yeah.
It's very, very strange.
It's like, Windows, we're not friends. We're just coworkers, okay? Just calm down.
Yeah. Mirror's Edge optioned for a TV series, and the company that made it said, quote, that it'll make a great TV property because it has a strong female protagonist, true, a wildly rabid fan base, not correct, and a worldwide brand, debatable, that EA and EA Dice have done an amazing job establishing. Totally false.
Yeah, I mean, this goes back to like the same thing we talked about, like when they first announced the new reboot, right?
Yeah.
Where it's like, why do they need to do a reboot? Like, I love Mirror's Edge. I played it on stream, and it's a really great game.
I love Mirror's Edge.
Not a super in-depth story.
No.
Like the story is just this little thing between there's Faith and her sister, and there's sort of a little bit of a government conspiracy thing, but it's pretty minor in the context of the game. To the extent where I was like, really, they need to do a reboot? And also, I mean, I guess that means that they can take the TV show anywhere you go. But I mean,
Square.cube says the real reason, the rights were incredibly cheap. I bet it.
I mean, you could easily imagine something like what was that? Like Dark Angel, like the Jessica Alba show. Something like you can do some get somebody who knows, who actually is like a.
I think a Mirror's Edge series could be sweet. Also,
Yeah.
like especially if it was done in that art style, right?
Oh,
Or sorry, with that art direction. I don't mean animated. I mean like with that art direction of like the really, like just the very very. It's always awkward for me to use this word. The very stark cities with just like white and pops of color and like really high contrast stuff. Like I'd love to see that.
That would be
And,
hard,
like,
yeah. But it would be
doing,
interesting.
Doing parkour and stuff. But mostly it's their reasoning is like, a wildly rabid fan base. No, I mean, it's a cult hit and people really, really like it. But those people are not like, oh, give us TV show.
Yeah. But yeah, it could be cool. Basically what you need to do is get a whatever, I don't know who is the current top parkour person, the top like female parkour person, but basically find the most skilled parkour person in the world who can also act.
Mm-hmm.
And get that person in there as like your hero. Because it won't work. It won't work if you like have somebody who's, you get like whatever current, what's a good, whatever current TV actor you want, and then just do like tons and tons of special effect or stunt stuff. Like I think if you could base it around somebody who can legit do a lot of the stuff, obviously with extra help and stunts and choreography and things, but I think that could actually be legit. That could be fun, but they probably won't.
And then the Overwatch porn thing.
There is porn. I mean, we talked about this already, but
this is interesting. The top, I think it was 12 countries.
Andy Serkis, he can do anything.
There you go. The top 12 countries that were searching for it. The top one, far and away, was South Korea. Second was Belarus. This is like per capita, right?
Right.
Then like Russia, Bolivia, Ukraine. The U.S. wasn't even on that list.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was just kind of interesting. But yeah, that giant spike when the beta came out.
The interesting thing would be overlay that with actual like popularity of the game per capita graph.
Yeah.
It's like does it translate, or whether there's some places where nobody really actually plays the game, they just like watching porn of the game.
Yeah.
It's like, what is this game?
So South Korea and the Eastern Bloc. Yeah, actually. Well, and Bolivia.
It's like I don't even know what this game is, but I like watching porn of it. I like the character designs. What can I say?
Nope. Hang on.
There you go.
You got to put stats in your Google search, and it'll take you to the insights page. South Korea, Belarus, Russia, Poland, Chile, Ukraine, Argentina, Czech Republic, Thailand, Colombia, Brazil, Vietnam.
So yeah, like Eastern Bloc and South America.
And then Vietnam.
Yes.
But yeah.
Interesting.
So, go figure. This is what countries are the most likely to search for Overwatch?
And South Korea is like by a lot too.
Yeah, and as Pornhub notes, interestingly, these are also some of the top countries we found searching for My Little Pony tribute porn. So there's that.
I appreciate the way they're very the whole thing is very sort of non-judgmental. Just like, this is some interesting stuff we found.
The Pornhub Insights page is actually super interesting. It's just like, hey, what's up? So here's porn stats.
I was actually
and let me define some of these terms for you.
Terry O'Reilly's show, whatever his current thing. It's
Oh.
not
Under the Influence.
Under the Influence.
Yeah.
He just did a 2-part thing on porn and the advertising industry, and he actually specifically mentioned the like Pornhub stats page as like one of the innovative things that Pornhub did.
Yeah.
For like, hey, check it out. You can. This is, and apparently there's actually quite a few video games and movies and different things that are like $1 per eyeball. You can't beat advertising on porn sites.
Yeah.
I would imagine Blizzard is probably not going to be advertising on porn sites. I feel like that would be a little counterproductive
Probably
in
not.
their job.
Yeah.
But there it is.
Yeah. Oh, I bet Overwatch has an insane Korean fan base. I bet. I actually played against someone with their name was in Korean characters, but they were playing on the Americas server. But I don't know what that means, if they just wanted to name their character that or whatever. But anyway, some other stories.
Other stories we didn't do.
There's a totally different Overwatch story about their netcode.
Yeah, which is, this is actually this is sort of an interesting, I think it's sort of one of these like,
Oh, sorry, briefly. Some people are saying that obviously South Koreans are searching for Diva, who's the Korean character. No, because the number one vast search term was anything to do with Tracer. Then like various terms, and then Widowmaker and Mercy and May, I think. But
And
yeah,
the guy-
Diva wasn't even on their list.
and the guy who's the turret. Some people are into that. So yeah, so there's I think which is, it's more just kind of a difference in approach. Overwatch. So any net game you play it obviously sends your commands to the server all continually.
Yeah.
And for a lot of games like Counter-Strike, Team Fortress, what's called the tick is 60 hertz, so 60 times a second.
Yeah.
It sends where you are, what you're doing, whatever, to the server to process. For some reason, Overwatch has a low tick rate. Overwatch is like 20 hertz. So that means that the server does a lot more prediction.
Yeah.
Than it does on other games, which, and it's one of these things that it's like how much of it we're talking, milliseconds difference here, right? We're talking, I think they measured the latency of like when the server gets the information versus when you do it is something, it's like between like 100 and 150 milliseconds,
Right.
whereas for other games it's like 60 milliseconds. So the difference is not that big. But if we're talking about when we
One
get
sec, man. Let me look up their actual tick rate for you.
when we get into, it's 20.8 hertz.
Oh, it is. Okay. Yeah.
When we get into when you get into competitive play, when you get into like real high level competitive play, these millisecond differences actually, these are people who use monitors with high refresh rates because it makes a difference and all this kind of stuff. So it's an interesting idea, and one of the thing has been one idea that's been put forward as to why they're doing it is that it actually basically, in order to make the game easier, or to make it sort of not easier but like friendlier, because having the lower tick rate makes it so that the server is doing more prediction, and so the server can actually fudge stuff slightly.
Yeah.
So like if you're like sniping, it can make it just slightly easier to snipe somebody. You don't have to lead them quite as much, or you don't. And And so obviously some people are like, "Meh."
I've been finding the
Nukes.
opposite. I've been finding it like I'm sighted up on someone as Widow, and I'm like, oof. What? But that's probably just because I'm not that great.
But it's an interesting idea, and to the extent that they're actually, so the regular game is got this 20 hertz, but there's actually
Overwatch has an extensive story actually. TXE Polygon actually did a big breakdown on like the backstory for the game that was pretty sweet.
there's actually they've made it so that you can actually play custom game modes, and one of the custom or some in some of the custom game modes you can actually play with a higher tick rate, deliberately.
Interesting.
And one of the things that can help is if you are on a crappy connection, if you're on a really high, if you're on like a really high ping connection or something, the low tick rate combined with a high ping connection exaggerates the problem. So sometimes if you're on if you use the higher tick rate, it makes the it will decrease the problems you have by being on a bad connection. So anyway, it's mostly kind of interesting because it's Blizzard's response to it. Of course, they haven't like given a definitive response on it, but they basically just said our netcode is substantially different from most other games.
Yeah.
So it's fine.
Why does Overwatch have this lore? To inform design decisions?
Yeah.
Like, you can just make up whatever characters you want, but, you know, I think it's neat if these characters actually have some sort of story to them. It's interesting.
Mm-hmm.
Like, it allows... So, okay. You could just make Diva be a girl in a mech, and Reinhardt is a dude in a suit. But the fact that Diva is actually a StarCraft 2 esports pro and is famous means that you get these little interactions where when your team is waiting before the match, if you have Reinhardt and Diva on the same team, sometimes they'll talk to each other. And this is not the only interaction that happens. A lot of people ask Diva for their autograph, but Reinhardt will be like, "Could I get an autograph from you for a friend of mine?" And Diva's like, "Okay, sure." And she writes out, right? It's just like little things like that is super interesting. I think it's neat.
That's very unrealistic. How could somebody play at top level in StarCraft and also train to be like an awesome mech pilot? Playing top level in StarCraft is like a more than full-time job.
Yeah.
Unrealistic. Total my suspension of disbelief is completely crushed.
Yeah. It's a mess.
All right, what else we got?
What else we got?
Hyperlight. So, Hyperlight Drifter Collector's Edition?
Yeah. Oh man, it comes in a SNES cart.
No.
Well, with a SNES cart.
Yeah, the SNES cart is empty.
Yeah.
It's just a SNES cart because it looked cool.
That's
it comes,
so rad.
But it comes with like a neon blue SNES cart.
Yeah.
Custom built.
That's super cool. Oh, she retired from StarCraft 2 competition to be a mech pilot.
Oh, okay. But yeah, the Hyperlight Drifter SNES cart. The only thing that would make it cooler is if it was like a cart and it had like a, I don't know, like some sort of like USB stick that flipped out so you could actually plug it in and play the game with it. But still awesome.
Xbox One, this is according to sources, the Xbox One will be getting a huge upgrade in 2017 with a slim model later this year.
Yep.
So that's exciting.
So supposedly we're talking actually like E3, so within like a couple weeks.
Oh right, we got all the E3 news coming.
They're going to be announcing a new Xbox that is much faster.
Xbox One Scorpio.
Yeah. Basically, and it sounds like it, and this is they really the speculation is that the sort of backroom stuff with Sony and Microsoft is they've been kind of like they both have been sort of at the back of their mind planning stuff, and then Sony was like, and then they both hear rumors that the other guy is going to be bringing out a new thing, which are the same rumors that we've heard, and they're like, oh shit, we better get our new thing out first, or at least at the same time, because we don't want to look like we're behind. So now they sort of have inadvertently forced each other to release their things possibly earlier than they were hoping to. and they've also done this thing where they've leapfrogged each other, because Sony, the Sony PS4 Neo, I think is the working title, supposedly will be 4 times as powerful as the PS4.
Right.
And so Microsoft obviously is in a position where they don't want to be behind again, because they're behind now.
Right.
And so they're like, well, ours is going to be theirs going to go at like 4 teraflops. We're going to go for 6 teraflops is our thing. That's our target for our thing. So it's like, okay. So they're just like, and then Sony's probably come out and be like, oh yeah, ours is going to be 4.6, and then
It'll be bigger.
It'll be
infinity plus 1.
It's going to it'll make French toast. It's like, oh yeah, well, ours will also be a fancy machine gun. I don't know. It's silly. So we'll see. All of this stuff obviously is still like, it doesn't. None of it matters.
Yeah.
Until they actually announce something real.
Ars Technica has an article on celebrating 10 years of Half-Life 2 Episode 3 not coming out.
Yay! Yeah, May 24th.
Yeah.
Is the 10-year anniversary of the first announcement of Half-Life 2 Episode 3. 10 more years. 10 more years. 10 more years.
So that's exciting.
They what would they need to come out obviously Half-Life 2 Episode 3 is not happening.
Yeah, exactly.
But even Half-Life 3,
yeah.
what would they have to bring out?
I don't. It'd be.
Because it's like, Duke Nukem Forever's out.
Yeah.
Last Guardian apparently is coming out this year.
Yup.
They're gonna be.
They're never gonna do it. There's no way.
No, and the thing is, it's not like Duke Nukem Forever. They just didn't whatever 3D Realms.
Yeah.
Just was gone for 15 years or whatever.
Mm-hmm.
Whereas Valve has been real busy doing other stuff.
Oh yeah.
They just haven't been doing Half-Life.
Yep.
So I figure either just nobody at Valve is working on Half-Life, or maybe there's just one guy who's on the who was the they had a big Half-Life team, and then they've slowly been moving people out of the way.
Wheeled their desks over to other pods.
And then he's just been like, where did...
I guess I'm still working on this game then.
All right, I want to make it.
Right, that's their whole thing. You can work on whatever project you want.
Yeah.
I'm still working on Half-Life 3.
Yeah, it's going to be cool. Except it's going to be called Dave Life now, because none of you guys are involved. It's Dave Life 1.
There's a super cool story about over 50 classic arcade games that were on a ship that, a tanker basically, that was run aground and rusting and just sort of sitting there. And the games were still in good condition, and there was some rare...
rare arcade cabinets.
Rare arcade cabinets, that are really, really hard to find. And there was the boat was going to start leaking. It was threatening these things. And so there's this great write-up on, they call it a raid, which is not strict. Raid implies that they didn't talk to the guy who owned it, which is not the case. But anyway, it's this really interesting story about sort of going onto this ship and rescuing all of these arcade games. They don't have Polybius.
Yeah, it sounds like it could have been a neat idea. It was a tanker or a big cargo ship.
Yeah.
That was decommissioned and then bought by somebody, and the idea was to turn it into a swimming water-bound what do you call it?
Arcade?
Arcade and casino and all this kind of entertainment thing that was going to sail around. Obviously that didn't work out, and so it's just been kind of sitting in it just was kind of sitting in dock it was sitting just in dock and disused and getting all rusted and stuff. But apparently they had already loaded in all the or a bunch of arcade cabinets. So
I pasted the link into the chat there if you want to check it out. It's a super interesting story.
a yachtcade, if you will.
As Darrett00 points out, yes, Valve greenlit 400 games over the weekend. So Watch and Play has content for years.
Yay!
400 games.
Wow. They just don't give a crap.
They don't
Yeah.
give a shit.
There's that. Was it in? Was it Bob? Whatever, the Jim Carrey one where he becomes God, Bob Almighty. No,
Evan's the sequel. Bruce Almighty.
Bruce Almighty.
Yeah.
Where he comes up with a great idea where he just like gets in. He starts getting everybody's prayers in and gets overwhelmed. And he's just like, you know what? Yes to everybody. And then obviously everything fucks up because that's a terrible idea. But that's basically what they're doing on Greenlight. Just like, you know what? These have backed up too far now. It's too late. Let's just say yes and clear out the backlog, and then we'll start again.
Yep. Then, all right, last one was an April Fool's joke becoming real.
That never happens.
I did not read. Oh yes, cat girl without salad.
Yes.
Which was right announced by developer WayForward in 2013 as an April Fool's joke, and then they made it into a real game.
Yeah.
Because why not? So it's going to be in a Humble Bundle.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's neat. I like when people are like, here's this dumb idea for a game that's not real, haha, and then people are like, no, that looks sweet, and they're like, all right, fine, we'll make it.
Yeah, the original announcement, which was just like on April Fool's, was like the announcement and then a single screenshot. Said that it was following the adventures of a lovelorn bounty hunter, Kibaku. Cat Girl Without Salad was described as combining elements from several gaming genres, including puzzle, platformer, shmup, action, shooter, adventure, strategy, fighting, rhythm, arcade, horror, tactical RPG, TPS, RTS, and visual novel. So apparently they've done that in a real game now. So it's all the things together.
Yeah. I guess we are being rated by somebody French. So that's cool.
Bonjour.
Uh,
Comment ça va?
I will coucher avec you. Wow.
Wow.
You guys are real cool.
You guys don't know any French, do you?
No.
Just that one line.
Just the line from Lady Marmalade.
Yeah.
Well, that's cool, I guess.
All right.
I don't think this would be bots. It'd be a stupid idea for bots. Well, you were here just in time to watch us welcome subscribers, so
Yay.
settle in, everybody.
Any of you who want to subscribe, you can be added to the thing, I guess.
Yeah. Please subscribe to the channel because it is subscriber welcoming time.
Woo!
How do I do this?
I guess we can get rid of the
This
actual
one?
notifier. Yeah.
Do that?
And might as well get rid of the notifier in the corner.
That one.
Yes.
And then I just click this?
Right click that to bring up the thing, and we want to say what it starts at.
Oh, right. Which is... Haha. I know how to use technology. There. And then just start?
Yes.
And then I click it?
Oops, no. Right click on it again,
Whoop.
and make sure that it hit
Enter.
enter on that,
And then start.
and then
Itazu!
Itazu. Yay!
With a 33-month resub. Welcome back, Itazu.
Thank you, Itazu.
Thank you so much. Sampy104. Sorry. With a 29-month resub. Thank you, Sampy104. Welcome back. Go for it.
Kinogami, thank you for subscribing. Kinogami for 29 months.
Tachani with a 13-month resub. Welcome back, Tachani. Thank you for 13 months of support.
It's
Quirp with a 2-month resub. Quirp's been around for longer than that. Thank you, Quirp, always.
Yay. Lord Crusher for 8 months. 8 months of crushing.
Herbie Dantastic with a 13-month resub. Welcome back, Herbie Dantastic. Thank you so much for subscribing.
Togashina Ruta for 29 months. Thank you for subscribing.
Gnert with a 20-month resub. Welcome back, Gnert. Thank you.
Medic of Old for 22 months. Thank you for subscribing.
Welcome back. Zeke229 listed as a new subscriber, but I believe that Zeke has subbed before. Welcome back. Thank you so much.
Gallows Anatomy, a new subscriber. Thank you very much.
Welcome. Joe Insurgent, an 8-month resub from Joe Insurgent. Thank you very much for your continued support.
Mirnus for
Mirnus.
11 months. Thank you very much.
Zeke says, I'm not new. Welcome back, Mirnus. Amen. With a 14-month resub. Welcome back. Amen.
Katabi for 16 months, however that is pronounced.
Tyrant Taco with a 29-month resub. Welcome back, Tyrant Taco.
29 long months.
Aberdasher with a 4-month resub. What's going on, Aberdasher? Welcome. Thank you.
Eiko and Moog.
Ico and Mog.
Mog. 20 months.
28-month resub. Welcome back, Ico and Mog. Twitchy Dove, 13 months. Thank you so much. Welcome back.
Gregor for 13 months. That's the original Mortal Kombat. Yeah.
Agar Waller 42 with a 2-month resub. Agar Waller 42. Thank you and welcome back. And that is everyone.
Yay!
And how are we doing in the chat there?
Yeah. Things seem to have calmed down a little bit now.
I'm usually quite cool with chat raids, but that was just sort of needlessly difficult.
I don't know. Yeah, just the I feel like people, I wonder if it was like, go to this place and say this thing, or if that's just the thing that is said on a raid from that place.
I guess. Yeah, there you go, Hibbity Bobbity. I thought raids were funnier as well. Yeah, that was just sort of like, oh, okay. Yeah, it was like 200 people, which is cool. I don't know. Raids are sweet. Spam isn't. So, whatever. If any of you stick around, welcome, I guess. It's the end of the show, but thank you.
We don't really speak that much French, so
I don't think they do either.
It's possible, I suppose.
Yeah.
Are you saying that they weren't using proper French? That they are not?
I mean, like you said, I think they only saw. I think they only know that one phrase. So
anyway,
that's gonna do it for Checkpoint today.
It's gonna do it for Checkpoint.
Later tonight, we have Tinker Tailor's Solder Fry at 6 p.m. local time,
where Ian is going to be continuing to build his kegerator. Hopefully, I think he hopes to actually get it finished.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Cool. Yeah, he's working on the kegerator, and Heather's going to be continuing work on her hat pattern.
Mm-hmm.
So
that should be cool. Hopefully, there will be not any, permanent damage to anybody.
Mm-hmm. Epic lol blocks. I'm Graham, and that's Paul.
But as we know from the previous one, Heather making that hat design, very dangerous.
Clearly the most dangerous part.
Yeah, she definitely got into some pretty dangerous situations there. Yeah. What with all the power tools involved.
Yep.
So, we will see you guys later.
Yeah.
And what's on for New Day tomorrow?
I think this is the one that we just
we
just worked out, which I believe is going to be Alex is going to be playing the new Fallout 4 expansion, Far Harbor.
Right.
Yes.
Far Harbor.
Yes. So check that out.
The Farber.
Yeah.
We've already made it much shorter.
Yeah. See? Perfect.
All right. So see you guys later. And remember, of course, that this will be up on our YouTube page.
Yeah.
And everything that you see is made possible by the Patreon.
Or Twitch subs.
Or Twitch subs.
Both.
Or people reading us in French.
less that.
That doesn't make it possible, but it makes it probable.
Is anyone co-piloting with Alex? I'll probably be around for a bit because Fallout 4. All right, later, everybody.
Bye.
Whoops. There it is.